What up, my freaks? RuinouSinsight here with part 5 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Belegar Ironhammer campaign. So as we saw last time, Belegar's army now has a very decent amount of rangers who have begun to range far and range reasonably fast, or as fast as the dwarfen legs can carry them into the Badlands. We have the Bloody Hands arrayed against us and have destroyed or at the very least damaged one of their armies, and are going to have to proceed to destroying the rest of them and taking Angrund back for the Dwarfs. We are on the road to 8 Peaks, but it is still going to take some time. It didn't turn out to be the 8 Peaks rush I was originally envisioning, but I mean, we're not all that far away, so it's not so bad. Now, in terms of what we gotta do this turn, I'm actually not sure that there's anything. I think I ended off last episode with saying that we probably want to ambush, so we'll give that a try. Put Belegar into ambush, and let's hope that these guys try to go for Stone Mine Tower, and then we'll just be able to pick them off and kill them if it succeeds. If it fails, not so much, but I guess we'll see. We might also... wait, out of curiosity. You are able to recruit miners here. I'm almost tempted to... I mean, the miners wouldn't be all that much use. But we have fairly significant recruitment capacity, and even if we get like 5 extra miners here, there may be use for it. Because the reason I'm thinking about this is we may want a second lord, not so much to actually fight enemy armies, as to take territories while Belegar essentially doesn't waste his turn. Because if we had another lord right now, we could have it take Bitterstone with Belegar's help, while then Belegar immediately moves to Angrund. And this may be useful in taking this faster. I'm not 100% sure whether this is a good idea, but there's another reason that I was thinking about doing that, and that is the fact that we have you, Scalf Hogmog, Ancestral Blood Smednir, with his recruitment cost reduction. This is a lord that we will probably want to have either way, so there's a decent reason, I suppose, to actually get him on the field. Yeah, you know what, I've convinced myself. This is going to cost us a decent amount of cash, but we'll see. And then you're going to recruit, let's say, 5 miners. Probably don't even need that many. Honestly, a single lord could probably function like this, but a few more miners couldn't hurt either. So let's do that, and then we'll send him immediately, probably by march stands, to help out with Angrund, and more likely to take Dragonhorn Mines, but allow Belegar to go to 8 Peaks faster. Alright, that sounds like it's the plan. Let's see if the ambush is successful, or whether it gets foiled. I hope I didn't forget to build something. I think we were waiting to move our other lord, our builder lord, in order to reduce the costs of stuff, so it probably won't make too much of a difference. And the Bloody Hands do not decide to attack us, but they do decide to stand outside of their settlement here. Which means we should be able to draw both out into combat. So sure. And interesting that they didn't decide to go for Stone Mine. You want something. A defensive alliance. No. We're a little bit busy. Alrighty, now we've got a half a wa here, plus the garrison, plus... ooh, the troll... there's 2 trolls in the garrison, and 2 trolls in this army, and 2 trolls in this army, and possibly trolls in the was. Alright, this might actually be a battle that, maybe worth fighting. I have another possible idea. On the one hand, we could fight these guys as we are. On the other hand, we could try to use this guy as a bait army, which may not be the worst idea in the world either. Although, they are arrayed right in front of us. I do wonder how much damage we'd take at fighting all these guys, because this is going to be something like 2.5 full stacks at once. And while a single stack isn't problematic at all for our piles of rangers, this might be a little bit more. I suppose we could take advantage of our ability to Vanguard deploy. There's that possibility. You wouldn't be all that useful right now, Mr. Miner Man. Although, another thought, if Thaga were to jump here, you might actually be able to hold Stone Mine Tower, depending on how it heals up, although the healing is still fairly slow here, but if you could hold Stone Mine Tower, that would free Belegar to attack this and then keep moving. Yeah, you know what? It might have been a decent idea to move this guy here. Also, before I forget, let's build some stuff. You, Constructor Furrowbrow, move here. At which point we will go for Matorka at a slightly reduced cost, and then we will, I guess, move back. You know what? Go into Encamp Stance. And then move back here. Into... Huh. Wait, do you heal more here or out there? Oh, look at look how slow it heals, even in green territory. It's ridiculous. So wait, this is 5 turns until full.
Okay.
This is also 5 turns until full. Okay, so it doesn't matter. And they're both the same. Stay there, buddy. Belegar, I guess it's time to go. Let's see what we can do here. Lots and lots of orcs. These guys will probably attack us immediately after we attack these guys, so we will have to be careful. If we take too much damage, then, well, it'll be worrisome. Let's see. Let's also give the Ancestor Rune to, let's say, one of the Ranger units, mostly because the Hammerers are too damaged to make good use of it. They also have a lot of magics. Do they have a caster? They have a Goblin Big Boss. They have... I don't know what Maggot is, but I think he's a Goblin Great Shaman. Gaze of Mork, yeah. Okay, so he's gonna be spamming that. We should probably kill him as fast as possible. Alright, well, still, let's get to this. I think it should be a pretty fun time. Let's see about how many casualties we take here. Cinematically, of course.
I suppose.
Alrighty, well, Belegar supposes. As to what exactly he supposes, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, here we go. We are vastly outnumbered by the enemy here, but we do have some advantages. First of all, we are going to take advantage of the Vanguard deployment on the Rangers. They continue to range far, at the very least. We'll see how fast later. And start attacking the enemy army immediately. This does mean that the rest of our units who aren't capable of Vanguard deployment are all the way back there and have to rush forward, but it also means that we can heavily damage some enemy units before the enemy armies can react. Namely, this troll unit is already basically done and wavering, and a few more units will be heavily damaged even further, especially once our ghost engineer gets here and missile calibrates or ballistics calibrates everybody to increase their range and attack further. The other thing that is to our advantage here is the fact that despite the enemy's superior numbers, all their reinforcements are approaching us from different points, and their armies are not together in a single blob, which would be the danger. If our range units got overwhelmed and were unable to fire, then we'd be in a lot more trouble here. But since this enemy army is here, we're going to try to destroy it before the enemy reinforcements arrive, at least the first army, and then the other two armies are all the way at the edge of the map here, so it will take them quite a while to get to us. And we also have some fairly decent positioning here. I'd actually prefer to be in this position, where we can use this and this impassable terrain as pseudo walls and fire down from the hill, but it seemed like we wanted to open up as big a distance as possible between us and the enemy first, which is why we're deployed a little bit further away. Hopefully we can have a few seconds to reposition, but we'll have to see. Alrighty, well, Rangers are quarreling away as they like to do. They're already draining their ammunition, so we do have to watch out for that. And definitely starting to feel the lower ammunition amounts on the Rangers as compared to Quarrelers. Certainly going to get that upgrade on the Engineer in order to get more ammunition on the army in general. But we'll see later on whether that's enough. Well, anyway, it looks like the Vanguard deployment has kicked the anthill, and the enemy is annoyed enough to actually charge us, which is great. We've also popped that ballistics calibration and are getting a very decent mileage out of it. Now, the ballistics calibration does increase plus 50 accuracy. I'm wondering how effective accuracy as a stat is. I do remember that there was a technology somewhere in the tree, I think this was an SFO technology, that gives Rangers plus 200 accuracy. But is that actually all that valuable? Is their accuracy actually low? And what does this actual stat impact? Like, would this increase their capability of leading a target that is moving away, or does that actually depend only on projectile speed? Or is this just a random mischance that it effectively effectively changes? Because they don't miss all that much when they fire directly into a massive blob of units, as we can clearly see. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look into that, but if anybody knows, let me know. It looks like the enemy lord is going to charge forward. This is a terrible idea, because he's immediately going to get surrounded by both of our Ghost Thanes and Belegar, smacking him around. He's gonna call his trolls to him, but that's okay, and it won't matter. Between the hammers and the Lord and heroes, he's out of there real quick, and these trolls are not really all that much help. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like the first of these armies is pretty much done for. Granted, it was probably the weakest of the armies, and we got much more coming, but the second army is moving in staggered in a column formation, which is always a bad thing to do, and we should be able to take further advantage of that as well. We also will try to snipe down the enemy lord, and it does look like we do bring him down with a tiny bit of focus fire, and our melee units are still apparently sufficient to hold. Beautiful. Alrighty, and here comes that column, taking corals just like their friends did before them. At least all the orcs should feel like they fit in. And well, if it isn't some boar boy chariots, we're gonna try to countercharge those with our heroes and then smash them with our hammers, and these things should also go down extremely quickly. The countercharging on the hero and lords, or the lord and heroes rather, is very, very effective, especially as these guys are unlikely to take too much damage, and we do have the hammers to back them up as well. The gobos go down right before the charge, and it looks like the grass here is getting real bloody now. Very nice. The enemy has still not reached our main line as of yet, and we'll see whether they actually are capable of doing so. The Rangers are still doing a fantastic job, and I do think it was the right move to recruit a bunch of them, even though it cost us like 20,000 gold or whatever it was for this amount of Rangers. 10,000 gold per 4 units, and we have... or was it 30,000 gold? Well, that's why we saved up. And we got the Rangers, and we're down to where we need to be at the very least right now. Looks like the other second army is just about destroyed. One more unit of orcs about to get wrecked. The grudge thrower helping out as well. We'll have to switch that artillery piece to something else later on, and I still haven't decided which artillery piece we'll switch to. But we'll certainly have to do so. Anyway, that is that. That is the last unit of the second army, and once again, they have not reached our main line. We are going to take the few seconds, or maybe a minute or so, 30 seconds, of reprieve that we have between the third and fourth stacks to move up here onto the high ground into a better position and reposition ourselves such that we have a better fighting chance. Although at this point, with the enemy army is reduced by 2 out of 4, I think we have a decent shot at doing this without too much damage. On the other hand, we are down to very low ammunition, at least on this Ranger. We are trying to recover as much as we can with that recovery ability, ammo hopper ability, or whatever it's called, on you. What is it called? I gotta remember the name, because I'll be referring to it quite a bit throughout this campaign. It's just restock, okay. I'm probably just gonna call it ammo hopper. And it looks like we're actually going to run out of ammo on most of our units before we kill the enemy, which is something of a concern. May have to force our Rangers into melee. Although against orcs, that is also not a huge deal, as they're decent enough in melee. Ooh, look at those arcs. Those are some very nice arcing shots over our hammerers there, and doesn't put them in danger. Countercharging the trolls again to prevent them from charging directly into our hammerers, and our hammerers can join the fray as well in a few seconds, as soon as the trolls are dead. I'd rather not allow the trolls to apply their armor-piercing damage. We can have the hammerers fight these savage orcs and other units, although, ooh, our Lord and Hero moved a little bit too deep into their formation, and now they are going to get stuck. Slaneshi giggle. Dropping trolls all over the place as well, and it looks like the 3rd and 4th army have also actually separated from each other. Once again, the AI is really not doing a great job of taking advantage of those numbers, and ooh, a single Rune of Wrath and Ruin in this would probably cripple that entire army, which would be great. Anyway, the Hammerers are obviously rushing forward to try to help out our Lord and Hero here. I'm gonna back off for a second. I'm gonna try to pop a Rune of Wrath and Ruin in the middle of this, just to try to get them out. I wasn't trying to get them stuck in the middle of this. And here come the Hammerers on the back of that, and there we go. Now we're reasonably safe. Yeah, without enough melee to possibly commit, we're gonna have to commit both the Hammers and the Dwarf Warriors here towards the Lord and Hero. And I guess it's heroes at this point. We will, of course, leave behind our engineer, who's a ranged unit, and our runesmith, mostly because the runesmith constantly gets hurt, in part because overcasting the runes hurts him quite a bit. And I do have a tendency to overcast. At the very least, some of the runes, not every single one. And a Gaze of Mork coming in, but it looks like it's going to go wide and not hit too many units. Might have killed a few of those rangers, but it didn't look like that big of a deal. And we are now 6 minutes into the battle, and the enemy has still not reached our battle lines, and the enemy has maybe 1.5 stacks remaining at this point. Now, that said, almost all of our rangers at this point are now out of ammunition, and it's going to get a lot dicier for the last quarter of the remaining enemy troops. Should still be able to gun down, quarrel down, the last of this portion of the enemy army. But then it'll be melee rangers. And the fact that we're gonna need to send them into melee is a reason why we're definitely gonna need at least some Bugmans. Oh, I really like how our Dwarf Warriors and our Hammers, limited as they are on the hill like this. I actually really like their low model numbers when they're injured. I don't know, it just feels more appropriate somehow. It doesn't mean we want them to go even lower. It looks like, oh no, that Hammerer gets back up. And not too much value out of that Gaze of Mork, unfortunately for them. Lovely. Alright, here they come. They're gonna pop a unit of trolls. Actually, they're going to flank with both a unit of trolls and a Nasty Skulkers unit, which is hidden. And 2 more Nasty Skulkers over here. Looks like the 4th army is a little bit more gobbo heavy than the others are. Which is good for them, which might allow the Nasty Skulkers to close into melee. Now the Savage Orcs, however, are going to take the remnants of our arrows. And will probably not reach the melee line either. Thorak, eat your heart out. And there we go, looks like that Savage Orc boys unit is also out. Will they get to our battle line? Well, they're gonna get to our melee unit, so that's for sure, but we're probably just going to send rangers in, as there's no point in them just standing there. Here comes the counter charge with the heroes. And then we'll send the melee in right after them. Just want to make sure that the heroes and lords blunt the enemy's charge. And there we go, the rangers are moving into melee to... Oh wait, actually these are rangers. Yes, okay. For a second I thought I had sent in the thunderers and was going to call myself an idiot. Not that that isn't a reason to call myself an idiot anyway. But, but here we go. Alrighty, and the enemy lord has arrived, the Savage Orc war boss, and we are going to try to get to him with our lord and hero if we can get through. The Nasty Skulkers have also moved in and through whatever range units we have left that are still firing, which it looks like 1 unit with a tiny amount of ammunition. We're running out of restock, so no more use of that, and it'll be rangers and melee, finally, since I've been talking about it all battle. They're certainly going to take their time to kill nasty skulkers, judging by how few of the enemy models are dropping, and this is certainly why we'll probably want at least a few units of Ironbreakers in this army when we get to the late game. And yes, the Bugmans are decent in melee, but they're no Ironbreakers, and they certainly won't be able to hold back a tide nearly as well. Alrighty, and the rest of our Rangers moving into melee, axes held high. Maybe they want to have a little bit more of the personal touch here, since they're just using crossbows too much. Alrighty, and it looks like the main line of the enemy is done for, and in fact, the rest of them are going to chain route, and the battle is ours. The Orc War Boss also surrounded by our units here, and we're telling everybody to attack him, with the hopes that Belegar or the Lords can knock him off his mount before he gets out of the press here. Come on, you can do it. Try a little harder. Couple more swings. Nice jump, and down he goes. I'm not sure how one of you managed to jump high enough to take his head, but I'll certainly take it. There we are. Very, very nice, everybody. Looks like our casualties were relatively minimal. Our Dwarf Warriors almost got destroyed, but their unit losses were actually quite little as well, mostly just HP damage. And I guess the same thing probably goes for the Hammers. I think they started at 25 out of 60 units, and now we're at 23, so we dropped 2, and we got 23 units left and 23 kills on the unit. So at least everybody got an Orc or a Gobbo or a Troll killed. Otherwise, it looks like all the Rangers probably did massive amounts of damage, 32k and 220 kills, 30k and 155 kills. Looks like these guys are probably firing on Orcs rather than Gobbos. And we are actually able to chase down some of the Gobbos with our Rangers, which is kind of interesting considering this nasty Skulkers unit moves at 40 speed, whereas these guys are at 35. Huh. Are these guys forcibly slowed down when a unit attacks them? I'm actually not sure why this is happening here. Interesting, though. And hardly something to complain about. But anyway, here we go. We're just going to speed this up as we kill the rest of those units. And that's a lot of Orcs less that we'll have to deal with. Another heroic victory for Belegar. He's been getting a lot of these lately. So great job to him. And we continue on the road to, well, Angrund first, but then Eight Peaks. Alright, not bad at all. A free Gambler's Armor for Belegar. We could probably take that over the Glittering Scales, which we can put on one of the Ghost Thanes. 36 losses, certainly not all that much. I definitely think that the terrain, in combination with the fact that the enemy attacked us in a sort of staggered formation, or rather the armies were moving onto the field staggered, completely screwed the AI over. If they had sheer numbers and moved in together, they would have done a lot better than they did. We got 121 Oath Gold for that, which is way better than the 7 or 5 or whatever the heck we got a couple of the other times, so we'll definitely be taking that. And now let's see what the enemy has left. Now, Belegar. Oh, don't tell me this is too far away now. Let's see. Enemy killed, Great Gambler's Armor, attack minded, I'd like to think so. Angrund miners are available. I guess we could use them to lead these miners, or if we really wanted to, we could replace these Dwarf Warriors with them. Brewmaster, Choir Master, a Teller of Tales, another Brewmaster. It's nothing but Brewmasters in here, which does make sense. Every dwarf that doesn't have a Brewmaster as part of it, or every Dwarf Lord, rather, that doesn't have a Brewmaster, his own personal Brewmaster, is not a good dwarf. Alrighty, construction cost -5. This is a stonemason. Do you have a stonemason? Yeah, you do. Okay. And I just wanted to make sure. Now, do we build anything, or are we able to build anything? Karak, not so much. Karak, one more turn until we can. I'd love to upgrade Zarek ASAP as well, but I guess we'll switch for Masters of Steel and Stone later on. Also got to keep an eye out on this territory, but I'm not seeing anything here as yet, and Matorka looks good to me right now. Alrighty, so the issue is this. If we attack you right now, Well, I guess we're gonna have to fight this as well. I would prefer to auto-resolve this, but the fact is... Oh, hello. They have a, Belaskak-HA. Huh. And some kind of wyvern, right? Is this a special unit because it has a red symbol? Why is this part of the WA? Why is their WA so much better than the regular army? That actually often does seem to happen in vanilla as well. I was constantly encountering like bunches of Arachnaroks in WAs that weren't available to the regular army, which seemed a little odd. As for the Angrund miners, it would mean needing to get rid of the dwarf warrior unit. I'm not sure that that's worth our time right now, considering the sheer cost of recruitment at the moment. So maybe we'll hold off on these, or put them in Scaff Hogmog's army, or leave them there for whenever we need them at some point. Now, I was gonna move you forward, but now I'm thinking maybe we just keep you at Stone Mine Tower in case Thaga comes a-calling. I would, You know what, wait, I have another idea. Are you, how far, oh damn, I don't know. I was wondering how far this guy would be able to move out of Angrund. It looks like it actually takes some effort to go there. Alright, you know what, move to the edge of this, right here. Here's the plan. We're gonna move here, we're gonna hope that Thaga can't reach you. Then, if Thaga jumps here, we'll move back to Stone Mine Tower to defend it. If Thaga doesn't, we'll move into Hel Belegar. And that, I think, is probably the best way. But in the meantime, let's give no points to Belegar because we're holding off for Rally the Holds. Unit mass, Lord's army, leadership in foreign territory, tunnel warfare. Yes, okay, tunnel warfare is what we need immediately. Oh, and it buffs miners too, ironically. Ironically, because we built a bunch and they're not in Belegar's army. We can give points to these guys, however. It's only the one, but, ooh, you are at rank 10 now. Okay, wait. Okay, this is important. So, King's Command gives us 10% speed, or armor-piercing melee. Well, the extra melee damage would be very helpful. On the other hand, they can still benefit from some speed. They're a little bit faster than standard infantry speed. Or actually, they're even with standard infantry speed, at least goblin speed. A little bit faster than orcs. If we give them an extra 10% speed, they'd be at, what, like 38? 38.5 or something? Is that enough? I feel like if we had more than one speed buff, I might take this, but I'm inclined towards the melee damage. It's not inconsiderable. Weapon strength's at 35, eh? You know what, I'm gonna hold off on that one. If anybody has any, ideas and reason why the speed might be better, let me know, but otherwise I'm gonna take Merciless Reclamation instead, because I feel like it's probably better. Because at the end of the day, we're still probably not going to be doing a lot of chasing as a dwarf army. It's just unlikely. You have... Now, this is a hard choice as well. More casualty or punishment for Rangers. Though, to be fair, Rangers are the only ones who already have decent casualty or punishment. This is in foreign territory right now, so this is unsurprising. But in our own territory... As armor would also be quite useful. Only 5 armor isn't a lot, but regular Rangers only have 60. Which isn't that much either. Damn, game. Making these hard choices. What about you? Please have an easy choice. Ammunition and reload time versus missile resistance. For own armies faction-wide, and this is own armies faction-wide. You know what? I think ammunition is pretty critical. We've run out of ammunition in a fairly early game battle, and while missile resistance is great, don't get me wrong, we already get a 15% missile resistance bonus out of the red line for Rangers, so missile resistance 15 out of Dowie firepower. Plus on top of that, they are gold shielded. Which means that the missile resistance probably isn't as valuable, I think, as the ammunition. So at least your choice we can take as it is. Wandering Spirits. Alright. And then I take it you have one as well. What do we have here? 8% upkeep reduction or, ooh, melee defense +4, making them more viable in melee. The question for this then is how many more rangers will we build? Will we be using them, or to what degree will we be using them outside of Belegar's own army? And the answer to that question is I'm not sure. While Belegar himself will, I'm sure, have tons of rangers, that doesn't mean everybody else will. And I think, yeah, so this is the only ranger buffs. So while they are buffed faction-wide, it's nothing crazy. I'm still kind of inclined to get Runes of Fortitude, just because of the replenishment issues our other armies will have. At least if we put a few rangers in the other armies, they will be able to replenish quick. But I think we'll hold off on these decisions for now. 8% upkeep is not insignificant. But neither is being able to use them as a better melee line. And if we combine that with the armor-piercing melee damage, it increases their melee prowess further, speed or not. And against the AI, the speed seems a little bit less valuable, perhaps? Well, either way. Let's see, Rune of Slowness. You affect enemies in range 1. Extend effect duration, greater effect on speed. Oh, I was hoping that you know what, we should probably still get this. You're gonna level up after this battle anyway, so I think... Ooh, wait. Oh, this is Oath Gold. I got excited about this. Ooh, armor reduction for enemies, it's -2. But it is still armor reduction, which means more damage for everybody. On the other hand, we do want to get Strike the Runes as fast as possible. Sundered Armor imbuement rather, is also quite nice. And Rune of Negation is damage resistance, which could be very nice as well. Damn, lots of great choices right now. But for now, I think I want at least one point in Rune of Slowness. And we'll hold off on the rest. Now, before fighting real quick, I want to give you the Gambler's Armor. I want to give you, King Lun, the Glittering Scale. Wait. Melee defense 5 versus melee defense 5 and armor 4. Yeah, let's give you the Glittering Scales, and then let's give the other thing, the Shield of Talos. That probably doesn't really matter. Alright. And now, before we jump in, one other thing. We can craft runes, yes? What do we have in terms of cost? So they're still fairly expensive. Is there a really decent set of runes that we could use early? Something... Wait, are these are character runes. I want banner runes. Artillery unit, because we could buff up rangers fairly considerably. We got more of these ancestor runes, so vigor loss reduction, as well as unbreakable when hit points less than 25% HP. Immune to psychology charge... Ooh... Strolla's rune. Oh, hello. Oh, now that's tempting. So 5% speed was a 5% was a 10% speed. We could use the Strolla's rune instead for a lot more speed. I gotta say, that's tempting as well. Then we got Rune of Sanctuary, a bunch of resistances, Perfect Vigor. Oh, but it's only one. Perfect Vigor. What is this? Master Rune of Groth One-Eye Leadership enables contact discouraged that lowers leadership. I do wonder, does that apply to ranged attacks? Bonus versus large, does that apply to ranged attacks? That, I guess, is going to be the deciding factors on some of these things. Rune of Dismay. Hex area effect range would be nice, but probably not super useful on the rangers. Master Rune of Immolation, yeah, lots of artillery assigned stuff. Rune of Battle, straight up melee attack and bonus versus infantry. Put those all on the Rangers' front line would also be quite nice. put these on the Bugmans in combination with the buffs that we get for Rangers in melee, and they'll be quite strong in melee in addition to range. Anyway, we'll take a look at those later on, or maybe I'll take a look at them a little bit between the episodes to make a decision. Let's fight this real quick and destroy these guys non-cinematically, I think, because I think this will be super easy. And then we'll have Angrund to consider right after. Sorry about the 8 years of deliberating over runes. I got excited about the prospect of putting a bunch of runes on our rangers and making them more powerful. And I probably will next episode. And of course, if anybody has any suggestions as for the runes for these guys, do let me know. I wish I remembered what I ended up doing in my Thorik campaign, because obviously it's a sort of similar setup, except the fact that that Thorik has piles of... he has piles of Quarrelers rather than Rangers, but it's close enough in concept as to not make much of a difference. Anyway, you know what? No, you go... I'm worried about the artillery piece hitting our own units, but I guess we can move it up. Alright, everybody else I guess can charge forward. And you can as well, yes. Also put you out front as fast as possible. And I believe that's it. Alright, start battle, go, go, go. All of you move forward. And speed it up to max. These guys are gonna get fired upon, and hopefully the trolls don't run away, as I'd like for them to be quite dead. You guys can... Alright, Rangers. They're gonna run away, right? Alright, Rangers forward. How fast do trolls move? They've got 55 speed. Okay, so fairly fast. Let's put you here. Let's put you here. Melee units, get ready. You're probably not gonna be needed, but, you know, just in case. And then we'll group you up like so. We'll put... I might as well put you two together. And there we go, speed it back up to max. And you know what, we could probably move the artillery piece forward at least a little bit. And there we go, damaging those trolls a little bit. Hopefully this will have annoyed the enemy enough that they all march forward, which it does look like they're gonna do. Lovely. You guys get out of the way of our other range units. We will wait until the enemy is a little bit closer, and then we'll pop that ballistics calibration. And artillery piece is too far to take advantage of it, but oh well. Ballistics calibration up. And away we go. Let's see if the enemy can get to us. I guess we could watch this pseudo-cinematically like this. It's not like we really need to control our army all that much in this particular battle. And looks like the enemy's firing back as well, but hey, these guys might actually reach our battle line. Distinctly possible. Hopefully the trolls one, maybe we should directly target a few of the troll units. You know what, you three. Target the trolls. There you go. And countercharge, please. One troll for each of you, if possible. Alright, trolls should be done for, and ooh, well, if it isn't Big Boy here. You're going to land on our rangers, ain't you? You go for entrenchment here. And range units, ooh, okay, I screwed up with the targeting. Okay, ignore that. We could have the lords and heroes take care of that. Well, let's pop your defense augment, and that thing is going to hopefully die. Let's pop Patriarch on you, pop Patriarch on Belegar, and there we go, now that thing's already done for. I got a little bit excited. And, okay, you guys need to target the enemy ranged units. I want you to target the enemy ranged units as well. The ranged units should be done in a few volleys. Looks like Big Boy has already fallen. Yeah, that's what happens when you play at max speed. I just wanted to make this battle go by fast, considering the enemy has no chance, but it is what it is. Probably took a couple of losses due to that, but it also probably won't make any difference. Although, no, it'll make some difference because we don't heal very quickly. Alright, and I do believe the battle is just about done. We don't have to kill everybody, we just have to make sure that they chain route. And speed it back up to max, and we're done. Lovely. The enemy had the army that was outside be too far away, I believe. Unless I'm mistaken, unless it did get drawn in. Oh, maybe it did. In which case we probably could have done a little bit more damage, but then on the other hand, we never would have caught up to them anyway, so... Yeah, Strolla's runes. 40% extra speed on those ranger units. But every single banner rune takes up a slot in a lord's followers, right? So we'd be able to put Strolla's runes on 6 rangers if we were to get 6. And there are much better runes, that's the problem. I don't mean character runes, but banner runes. And yeah, these guys moved as... Oh wait, no, this was the Wa. So they're dead as well. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to occupy the place. Teller of Tales, let's see how much we're gonna heal here. Well, the Rangers will heal just fine. These guys, troops replenished 14. Okay, it's not bad. But it could be better. Which still makes me think that it might be beneficial to get Runes of Fortitude, but damn, skipping out on 5 armor. If only we had been fighting Balthazar Gelt to get the +6 army buff for him. 6 armor buff for the army from him, rather. That, I think, would have been quite nice. Alrighty, well, I do believe we do have an Angrund to attack next. Let us also double check about buildings, which we don't really have right now. Do we need to switch any commandments? Karak, you're about to upgrade something. I guess we could wait. And then Karak, you are about to upgrade a bunch of stuff, so I guess you're gonna wait as well. You are not in a commandment because we don't own Akendorf. Alrighty. What's the likelihood that Thaga attacks us here? Ah, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click an X, but that was not X. Let's say there's at least a small likelihood of him attacking this. Well, we're about to find out. Maybe he has another army just hidden somewhere, who knows? And the turn, oh no, diplomacy. Haven't checked it in a while.
Yes.
With good reason, I guess, because there ain't many options here. Alright, well, away we go. I have a feeling Thaga's gonna jump to this side of Stone Mine Tower. Ooh, it's time. Okay, Ikit's gonna declare war on us. We've been waiting for this, it was bound to happen. Hopefully Balthazar Gelt can move out this way, but it does mean we'll need to start recruiting on our other army and send it out to fight. I can't see where Thaga went, but he did go somewhere. Wait, did he go south? Are you telling me he's not going to protect Angrund? He's going to protect something else? Whoa, 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 whoa. If that's the case, it's completely not what I expected. It is also stupid of him to do. Yeah, he's gonna move to protect Dragonhorn mines instead, which is interesting, because we can have Belegar move down and kill him, whereas then we can move Scaff Hogmog to protect Bitterstone mine from this tiny little army. It is a tiny army, but it probably would be able to take Bitterstone out. Yeah, alright. I'm really glad I built this army. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision. Anyway, unfortunately with that, I think... Wait. And whoa! What do we have here? Oh, I don't like that at all. Orion, please? No?
Don't make me regret.
What's the likelihood he wants to attack us? What if he joined war against anybody? Scabby Eye, minus 0.6. He'd do that for a lot of cash. If we pay him money... Maybe. Because Karak Buftar probably can't hold. Yeah, this is garbage. He has a full stack.
Live to serve area.
Well, let's just hope that he doesn't plan to attack us right now. Maybe we'll pay him money to join a war against one of his enemies. Because... Furrowbrow is way too far away right now. He could go to Karak, but... Oh, I'd really rather not lose Karak Buftar. I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, because it might not happen. Either way, we're gonna build the timber mill here, and Buftar... Well, I guess spending money on this is kind of concerning, but we're gonna spend it anyway, because we need more growth here. And I believe that's the only things we can build. I guess we could move Furrowbrow up to those iron mines, but frankly, while it would be... Do we risk it? I mean, I don't think he can take Karak. There's 2 Ironbreakers units in there.
Yes.
Well, either way, I will think about it. Unfortunately, we're basically out of time, and I'm going to have to call the episode here, mostly because of the next thing that we're going to do immediately is attack this, and this is definitely going to be a fairly long battle. We got Thaga's full stack, plus whatever's in Dragonhorn Mines, plus this little Lord stack, so it'll be a nice little battle as well. But afterwards, it looks like the Bloody Hands will be broken. We'll be able to take Angrund the next episode, and then immediately start moving towards Karak Eight Peaks. Maybe a few of our territories will fall, depending on how the Vampire Coast, the Clan Scryer, Skaven, and Orion behave themselves, but it'll all be worth it if we take 8 Peaks and make our new base there. Either way, I do believe we can hold Karak Azor, so whatever happens there shouldn't matter all that much. Anyway, stay tuned for more Revenge Incarnate. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.